Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Mag Show. Today, we are going to be talking about some even more shocking news, but this time it's coming out of the Microsoft camp. Ladies and gentlemen, we are hearing from the top, although we have already heard some whispers about it, but nothing guaranteed. It seems like the leaks are coming true that, yes, indeed, Microsoft is canceling their next-gen handheld hardware. Their dedicated handheld device will no longer be coming from Microsoft. They have decided to cut it, and what's going to come instead is that the teams are going to be actually focusing on the Windows 11 devices that already exist, including Project Keenan, which is the other one coming out later this year. So what they're going to try and do is they're going to try and improve the Windows 11 experience for third-party handhelds that are already out there. Translation, they don't want to spend the R&D and the money on hardware that, let's face it, no one's buying. And I talked about it, Colt and I talked about it on the show on XNC. I've talked about it on my own channel. There really was no point to any of this. It just seemed redundant, most likely incredibly expensive, and honestly, who is this going to be made for? So now we look at the situation, and what's going to happen is people are going to start asking questions like, well, Mag, is the next gen Xbox actually coming out, and this and that, and people are going to start losing their minds. I can absolutely assure you that it's full steam ahead when it comes to the actual console that is actually being made for next generation. That is still coming. A dedicated console will be coming out for next generation. It'll be one SKU, it looks like, at this point. I guess we're not going to see the rumored dockable handheld, which I had even talked about and heard about several times. Obviously, the dedicated handheld, which has now been canceled, is no longer going to be in the picture, and looks like we're targeting next gen for 2027, which is something that Colt and I had obviously previously heard, and of course we had deduced ourselves would be exactly the time that we would get a next gen console from Microsoft. As for Sony, I could possibly see Sony waiting even one more year before they launch the PS6, let's say in 2028. They don't really have any direct competition with Xbox anymore. They're outselling basically borderline, at least in the United States, 5-1. They don't really need to launch it at the same time. So anyways, that's the news that's coming out now. It's so again, just a quick brief 1 minute, 2 minute video here, just letting you know that the Xbox dedicated handheld has indeed been canceled by the higher ups. One last thing I want to say about this, and this is the price point situation. I wanted to briefly talk about how they raised all the prices of the hardware as it is, and they're raising games on top of it. And I talked about it a million times, saying they're going to have to charge nothing less than $600 to $700, if not even more, depending on the storage for this handheld. Who's buying that? People aren't even buying the consoles now. They're going to buy a $700+ handheld. This was folly from the beginning, folks, and I thought it was silly from the beginning when they announced it, when they talked about it, and then when we started talking about it on the shows and podcasts. Absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, we're pretty much in agreement that this is going to be for the niche of a niche of a niche of a niche audience. What's the point? So you know what? Focus on your Windows 11 software and get it up and running. Get it better for the existing third-party handhelds that are out there and third-party handhelds that are still coming. But anyways, again, that's the news of the day. And again, for anybody asking or being, worried or anything like that, rest assured, your next generation console is still coming in a few years. But either way, that handheld is not. Anyways, everybody have yourself a wonderful day and stay magnificent.